Assalamualaikum and good greetings. So today we'll be watching a video that is a bit different than usual because I think this is a comedy video from the channel YasLaughs. The title is Muslim Matchmaking. So I'm not sure what to anticipate, but we'll see what will be depicted as, Muslim matchmaking, and I guess we'll just watch.
Wow, you look a little different from your picture. Did you send me the right one?
Yeah,
Hi, my name is YasLaughs. I'm a Muslim matchmaker, and welcome to my office. I meet people in alleyways because I want them to feel like what we're doing is a little bit shady, but also off of people's radar. You know what I mean?
Okay, from the opening clip or scene, it is clear that it is a comedy video about matchmaking or Muslim matchmaking. But I'm not sure what about the alley thing. Is it a thing that people meet there for the matchmaking? I'm not sure whether this is from the US or Canada or somewhere. Is it a thing? Is it ever a thing? Because normally comedy takes something from reality and make it, or take a look at the funny side of it, right? So I'm assuming something there for those who know. But anyway.
Oh, is this the place, like, for the audition thing? Yo, what's good? My name's Mo, I'm 26, and I'm here to audition, alright? Now here's my rendition of the thong song.
No,
You ready, lady?
No, I'm not ready for that.
Why not?
I'm a matchmaker. This is not an audition.
It's been a joy the whole time.
Hey, matching lady. You want to know about my son, Mera Beta?
Except for when it's not a joy.
God is most merciful, most forgiving. And my son, most handsome.
You know, I got into Muslim matchmaking because I wanted to spread joy. And I wanted to make people feel like we were really in this together to tackle the marriage crisis.
I mean, I just want a good person.
What about this guy?
Swipe. 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 Oh, swipe. Sorry.
It's not Tinder.
My clients sometimes have a little bit of some outlandish, bizarre, weird requests. And
I guess for those who, I guess this is a human thing, most of this, right? Of course, from a Muslim, not to say Muslim perspective, but Muslim experience, right? Because some of it is culture, some of it have religion concept behind it. But that is the thing, when we say, I just want a pious someone for my life partner because blah blah blah, but actually you have that criteria that you want, which is I don't know, physical or whatever, right? Human.
and expectations, but I really just try to stay positive in all of it.
I have the perfect girl for you. Okay, so she's 5'3".
Ooh, my cutoff's 5'4". Listen, I'm 5'5" and 3/4. All right, 5'5" and a half. And listen, I want my kids to have a chance at life. Short people have a complex.
Some people call me as guru. I don't know if I, like it.
Did you take my picture?
No. Before she's mom approved, she has to be group chat approved. You know what I mean?
Is he the one? I don't know. He did take me to a cemetery on our first date, so you tell me.
Okay, so there's date there. We'll talk after, meaning in terms of what's my take about matchmaking that is Sharia compliant.
Till death do us part, maybe? Yeah, he's the one. He's the one.
Lady matchmaker lady, I'd ask you for a good girl from a good family, educated, but I want her to stay at home.
The girl, she must be pure. Only the best. For my son.
No good deed goes unpunished. Am I right?
She must be the most beautiful, the most A1, the most first class.
So yeah, that's when I moved down here for my job. Did you just wink at me?
No. No, that's my mom.
Sometimes I really do try to unplug, you know, turn off my phone, relax a little bit because it is a very demanding job and it makes me a little bit anxious. Ah! What is going on?
I mean, it's like she was okay, but can you find me someone else?
No. Sometimes I do think maybe I could just like start with a new identity, start fresh somewhere, you know? Get a burner phone.
Watching auntie, one more thing.
I'm not an auntie. Uncle, you have to make an appointment with me in the alley.
Sometimes I feel like I really need to do a lot of deep breathing. A lot of deep breathing.
You brought me an ultimate latte. I asked for شاي باللبن. More لبن than شاي. يلا شوية كمان.
That was racist. That was an example of racism. I am a Muslim matchmaker and I've matched over 50 couples. It's getting harder to do that because I think some people want to be sad.
I don't know. Did you see that on the table? It's like kind of a coincidence because we're here. I don't know.
But that's great.
Okay, so yeah, it is a comedy. I think some might find it funny, some might not. Many, I guess, is inside joke, I'm assuming. Well, okay, so on the topic itself, because I think there are certain things that is being touched upon there in terms of matchmaking, right? In terms of marriage, okay, let's start there. In terms of marriage, where many people, they do need some assistance, because for example, for those who never really think about marriage in their student life, etc., when they go into working life, maybe the surrounding doesn't present them any candidate, hence they need someone to help in a way matchmaking, right? Because otherwise they will not meet anyone. For example, those who are working in an environment where normally it would never be presenting any good candidate from that environment, right? So traditionally, I'm talking about Malay now. Traditionally, we have our parents that have friends, etc., that suggest something, etc., right? But also, alternatively, we have friends that already are married, and then his wife knows someone that they think this might be a good match, etc., etc. So those things, I think, is normal and part of life, right? Yeah, so when people talk about arranged marriage, because someone asked me before, right, your marriage, is it arranged marriage? So I'm not sure what people define by it, because in a certain way I said yeah, kind of, because initially it is kind of being arranged, right? There's arrangement of third party there at the initial stage, but it is not like, okay son, I have arranged your marriage for you, just come on time, your bride will be there. It's not like that, right? It's the initial part that trigger the ta'aruf, meaning getting to know the candidate, and then from there you decide whether to get to know more and then decide for marriage, or this is probably not a good idea, right? If both parties agree upon this, they will get it further, families and arrangement, official, etc., right? So I went through that process, and I have many friends that went through that process, right? So if that is arranged marriage, then I do not understand what is the stigma behind it. But of course, I do assume when people say arranged marriage and they have that negative association with it, it's more of forced marriage, right? Meaning that it's not really there's some arrangement, it's more on someone, at least one of the two party is being forced into it, right? So obviously from Islamic perspective, that is also not acceptable, right? No one should be forced into marrying someone. It's based on redha of both parties, right? However, I do find it interesting in the sense that why I still associate that marriage with the term arranged, right? When, if you think about it, of course in Islam dating is not really Sharia compliant, but just to make a parallel for those who understand more on that life, right? There are things that people refer to as blind date, right? When the date is started with two parties that do not know each other, maybe their friends know and then arrange it, then that's why it is blind date, right? So if that blind date eventually lead towards marriage, people never call it blind marriage, right? Because I think the difference is that from that blind date and then when they go to dating, they no longer are called blind date. It's already dating. It's only started blind date the first time, and then from dating and marriage, right? So that's why the association is not there. I think because the difference is we don't date. From the first time we are sitting across, being arranged to get into the position of getting to know each other, we are already in the mindset of seeing this as a candidate of marriage. The discussion is suiting towards marriage. Hence, realize it or not, that marriage is directly connected to that, while that blind date is not, right? Because there's more thing happen there, right? But if someone do not have any problem with blind date, they should not have any problem with arranged so-called marriage. No, it's not marriage that should be quote unquote. The arranged should be the arranged marriage, right? So anyway, just to end on a personal note, because we are talking about this point, if I recall back on my personal journey towards my marriage, I think if anyone asks me, right, how many times I have seen my wife face to face before our marriage, right, before we become actually officially husband and wife, I think twice. I think there's 2 times that we actually face to face, and by this I'm defining face to face is as me and her facing to face, at the end of the table here and discussing, right? Of course my sister is there, etc., right? So we are not just 2, but by defining that, having direct discussion or conversation there, I think twice. If you define face to face is being in close proximity even though you are not directly talking to each other, I think 4 times, I think, before marriage, right? So what are the 2 times out of that conversation? It is more of her and my sisters shopping for the marriage, for the wedding stuff, and I'm in close proximity with my wallet waiting to pay at the counter, right? So that's the experience, right? So yeah, I have talked about this in length, I think, in a topic about marriage, right, before, early on, I think 2 years back when I've started doing videos, but no one will actually did video anyway. I think because leading towards that marriage, when I told one of my friend, he was surprised and he asked in real concern whether this is a good idea, right? Because meaning we only know about each other from that 2 conversation that we have, right? And now alhamdulillah, 6 kids, and we have our experiences up till this point. I think what people put emphasis on, I don't know, when the phase of dating or whatever, is normally the things that is not really the elements or the items that is a big factor behind life as a husband and wife till the end, right? Meaning that the strength of the marriage is dependent upon certain things that is so dear to you, that is your principle, that is your life goal in life, etc., etc. Things that sometimes you are not willing to compromise, maybe, or you really want to achieve it, etc. that if in the long run it is contradictory between the two people, it is kind of hard, right? For example, things that never arise if you're dating, etc. Maybe unless you have kids, right? What do you want the kids to be, etc., etc. So some people have strong idea or idealism, whatever, about that. So if it's not shared at that juncture, it can be a friction, etc. Right? I'm just trying to think of an example of things that is actually important. But if you are flirting, or if you are courting, or if you are dating or whatever, those items normally is not within that realm, right? You are more of a, you know, trying to impress each other, blah blah blah, right? So it is different, right? So that's why those things doesn't necessarily guarantee, you know, a strong marriage, right? That's my opinion. And you can see a lot of examples where when you see they're dating, you can say that this is match made in heaven or whatever, but later it seems different, right? So I think that's my take. I'm not sure how we end up here from watching this you know, just a comedy skit about Muslim matchmaking. Wallahu alam, I hope this is not a waste of time for any of you that is watching here. But if you are married, or if you are going into marriage, or you are thinking about marriage or whatever, you don't think you are fit to get married yet, do share your perspective. This is among the topics that I also love to, you know, discuss, if anyone want to discuss. I think we'll stop there. Thank you for watching. See you next time.